Aware of bullies, why parents are responsible. As a child growing up, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you, was something that was often heard through the hallways of my elementary school. Now that's not the case because words are hurting and even killing children. From the year 1992, there has been 382 school shootings in the United States. What's the first thing that should be done about it? Parents must take responsibility and no longer hold blind eyes to what their children are doing. Something has to be done to make school a joyous place again. Some of the work cited is stoptheshooting.org and indicators of school crime and safety. It's not enough for teachers to monitor children. Parents have to take responsibility and no longer, I just said that, hold blind eyes to what the children are doing. They have anti-bullying programs for middle high schools and bullying, a guide to research, intervention, and prevention. Bullying leads to violence. Children need to be taught good self-esteem. If not from the parents, then from whom? It's the parents' responsibility to find the root of the problem. I personally believe that you're not born a bully. There's a reason that you're a bully. It's not just and as a prior teacher working with young children and after school, it's not just, oh, this child is mean. There's always a reason behind a child's action. It's the parent's responsibility to find that reason. Some of the books are How to Beat Physical Bullying and Bullying Ideas to Keep Your Child Safe and Happy. Some parents use the excuse that they do not have the time to monitor their children 24 hours a day. While realistically, most parents have to work to provide their children's needs, parents still must know what's happening under their own roof. This is where it comes in that it takes a village to raise a child. There's nothing wrong with the fact that one person cannot do everything by themselves. Although this is true, when the decision is made to have a child, you no longer come first. Your child comes first. It's the parents' responsibility to raise children in a healthy environment and to know whom they have around their children. Children have to know that they have people in their lives they can depend on, whether they are in the right or in the wrong. No child is perfect. I was far from a perfect child. I just had a very good family that I knew that my aunt, as a teenager, I did bad things. But my aunt would curse me out and say, well, why would you do that? That was a stupid decision. But I knew she wasn't going to disown me. She would help me solve my problem. She'd help me come up with a solution for whatever it was that I had done wrong. Many things I had done wrong. If parents are held responsible for their children's actions, some bullying will stop. Work with the school and others to find the roots of the problem before it leads to violence. My thing is there's no excuse for bullying to lead to violence. Before it gets to that point, as a teacher and as a godparent and as a person that raised kids, every day your child gets a folder home from school. They give you a status and updates on what your child's doing. If your child's having problems with behavior, you're going to know about it before somebody else brings a gun to school to shoot your child. You're going to know that your child's been acting up in school, that things are going on. Learn how to figure out ways to correct it, because at some point in time, you can't place the blame solely on the child's shoulders. You have to take some of that responsibility as a parent. One of the books was School Leadership and Counselors Working Together to Address Bullying. Teach children other ways to express emotions. Many children that feel bullied at home. Teach children other outlets for their anger. There's new perspectives on bullying. Bullying in schools, what you need to know. It all adds up. Bullying is leading to violence. Many children are contemplating hurting themselves or others. And I got that from an evolutionary concept, analysis of school violence from bullying to death. Everybody, yeah, let's go. Any questions? Yes.
Where do you think the most common place at school is that bullying occurs? Like your own personal opinion on that?
If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said the playground. But it's really not the playground. It happens in the classroom. It happens on the hallways. And in the bathrooms are a horrible place for some kids.
Well, the reason I asked that is because my son last year had some problems with bullying on the bus. And I've seen some issues
a
where
good
the
one.
bus is really
That's a good one.
the
Before they used to have bus monitors. Now they don't. Depending on what county you live in, especially, now they don't have a lot of monitors like they did before. And of course, as a driver, you can't tell what's going on in the back of the bus.
yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Have you had a lot of bullying in your schools?
Some, and I work with preschoolers and after schoolers. Now I'm not so much. I'm taking a break from kids. I need a break for right now. But there are some kids that are bullies. But and that's why I said you find the root to the problem. If you look deep into some of my kids, I've had a lot of problem kids or special needs kids, because you don't want to call them a problem, but they're problems that I've had to work with. There's always a root to the reason why this child is acting this way. There actually was a kid, he used to come in and I've been bit, spit on, kicked. The kids in the class were bit, spit on, kicked. And money is the root to all evil, so he's not going to get kicked out. And my coworkers picked on me because all of a sudden I started holding him in my lap. And mind you, he's 4, so it's not like he was an infant or 1 or 2. You have this big boy in your lap and he just bit you and he kicked you. I'd rather hold him and rock him to sleep so he can leave me alone and take a nap and I can have a break than let him run around this classroom while everybody else is asleep and disturb the whole class. I can't teach, I can't do what I have planned for the day. But once I started holding him and rocking him to sleep physically, I would be rocking myself and going to sleep myself, and he's going to sleep. I'm like, I'm at work, just go to sleep so I can take my lunch break. No other teacher would come in my classroom if he was away. They just didn't want him. Whereas a 4-year-old, you start to feel like an outcast.
Yeah. That's
You're not
dangerously
doing that.
early.
That's so early. And now he's on medication, so he's much better, but there's always a root to the problem. Anybody else? If not, I'm going to give my 2-minute ceremony speech.
Okay. Stop and start again.